What's up everyone, welcome to today's video. In this one we're gonna review the eFootball Sunday update here with a new pack, of course, that we've been anticipating. As we said last time, it is Edwin van der Sar making his debut here in eFootball for the first time in this European Club Guardians pack, along with Gareth Bale and another new addition in the game. It is Bale Panucci here, as you can see, from Milan AC, a right back. So let's have a look at these players here. Two new players, two new legends added to the game, including Edwin van der Sar here. No special player skill, a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice to see this guy getting the goalkeeper directing defense skill. It's not the case. That's a bit sad. But he is 102 rated, as you can see here, and some pretty decent stats. This guy 197. He's probably the tallest goalkeeper in this game now, and I would assume that he's going to be the best goalkeeper, period, just by his stat and also his size, of course. And we know that this guy, back in the days when he was playing for Manchester United, he was really good. And booster here, if you're gonna get him, it doesn't really matter. You get goalkeeper or saving, both of them are gonna work. And let's look at the skills here. He's got the low punt, the high punt, the long throw, and the penalty saver. He's got everything. And for the additional skills, one thing that I like to give the goalkeepers is fighting spirit, and along with a one-touch pass, through passing, and weighted pass, and perhaps you could go even with the low lofted pass. Sort of, if you're gonna play back to the goalkeeper and pass the ball back to him, it's always neat to have the goalkeeper being able to do one-time passes and different versions of the pass, different style of the passes. If he needs to kick it up the field, or if he needs to do a weighted pass to lob a attacker, to pass the ball to a defender, something like that. If you want, if you're going to spend the money to get a goalkeeper, then you might as well give him all the skills to make him the best as possible. So Edwin van der Sar here, perhaps the best goalkeeper in this game now added. So the next one here is going to be Gareth Bale. It is not the first time that we see Gareth Bale. He's had this Real Madrid card last year that was excellent. He had also a free-to-play version earlier this year where he got the blitz curler. This one, he's got edge crossing, acceleration burst, 101 rated as a left back, offensive fullback here. And as you can see, he has some not so great defending stats for a fullback here, but he's going to be very offensive minded. And if you remember back in the days, Gareth Bale, when he was playing for Tottenham, where he was starting, he started as a left back, and he was so good that little by little he made his way up the pitch, then playing as a left mid, then playing as a left winger, and eventually he played some games just straight up as a striker here. Can he play as a striker? Yeah, you can train him to be a support striker or even a center forward. So, that's how he made his, ranks all the way to then play for Real Madrid and become the player that we know. So this is the early version of Gareth Bale as a left back. It's an interesting choice, but for me, I don't think it's really worth it, because the Gareth Bale from Madrid, he's so good as an attacker that you cannot have two Gareth Bale on the pitch. And I would rather have him as an attacker, as the late in his career version where he was playing for Madrid and he was just an amazing, excellent winger, than to have him as a left back. But it seems that he's a pretty decent left back here. Let's see, first booster off the ball, second booster, I would, probably give him something defensive. Go with something like dueling would probably be the best option, maybe shutdown or defense. It seems that he's going to need some help with that defense. He has better offensive stats than defensive stats. Let's look at the skills now. He's got acceleration burst, long range curler, long range shooting, one time shot, pinpoint crossing, edge crossing, outside curler, long throws, man marking, sliding, tackle. So, on the defensive side, he is a little bit like a Roberto Carlos type of player, but he's going to be a little bit taller than Roberto Carlos at 185, a little bit more physical. So perhaps if you're looking for a player like that, that's an offensive wingback, you could go with Gareth Bale instead of going for Roberto Carlos. In terms of the skills, you would probably need to give him interception and blocker because he's going to need that as a defender. You'd probably also give him aerial superiority, heading, so that he can be still pretty decent on the defensive end, on the aerial balls. And then I would go with one-time pass. You're going to need this guy to do, play one-touch football. If you're going to bring him up the flank on the left side, do 1-2s with your midfielder so you can bring him all the way up to a forward position where you can then use his crossing ability to try to get a ball in the box for a good aerial player, maybe someone like Cristiano Ronaldo or Jan Kohler, perhaps someone like Morientes that came out recently. But a decent card, I would say, here for Gareth Bale. And the next one now that we have here, it's Christian Panucci. First time appearance in the game for him. Visionary pass and a long reach tackle. A little bit disappointing. You would prefer him to have something like Fortress and, perhaps aerial superiority. I would have preferred that, but visionary pass, long reach tackle, that was the decision that they made here for Christian Panucci. 184 for him here. And a little bit like Gareth Bale, someone who has pretty good offensive stats, an offensive fullback here. He can play also as a central defender or right midfielder if you're going to give him some possession training. 35 levels. Christian Panucci back when he was 20 years old. And let's see here, booster dueling for the first one. I would also, just as Gareth Bale, I would go with dueling for the second, or one of the defensive ones like shutdown or defense. And let's see now the player skills here. He's got through passing, pinpoint crossing, visionary pass, man marking, interception, blocker, aerial superiority, sliding tackle, long reach tackle, and fighting spirit. So, he has some of the defensive skills that are important for defenders, like man marking, interception, blocker, sliding tackle. He also has the aerial superiority. One thing that he's missing here is going to be the acrobatic clearance, very important for a defender. He's got fighting spirit, so that's nice. He doesn't have all that many passing skills. Just like it was the case for Gareth Bale, you should probably give him the one-touch pass and then go with the weighted pass. He's got through passing. You want to give him the total. I guess if he's going to be an offensive fullback, go with the pinpoint crossing too. And then, for the last one, I think it's up to you, but you would definitely want to give him these so that he can have a better time being in attack and, make his passing skills as good as possible so that he can be really good offensively when he comes up the pitch here. As you can see, his offensive stats are going to be a little less than that of Gareth Bale here. And if you can see like his diagram here, you can see that he's not going to be as fast and as offensive as Gareth Bale, but still pretty decent, I guess. Perhaps someone who's going to be a little bit like Bergomi, but for Milan AC, I guess, and perhaps a little slightly taller than Bergomi, so he's going to be able to resist the pressure physically a little bit better on the defensive side. Christian Panucci, will have to see, how he fares in the game. And, this pack, an interesting one, but personally, I'm not going to go for it. I was a little bit interested in Edwin van der Sar, but I don't think this pack is all that great. I don't really need another Milan AC defender. I have so many of them. Gareth Bale, I have the Real Madrid version. I don't need him. So that's a pack where the only player you actually, would want is Edwin van der Sar. And, if it's just one player that you're interested in, it's not really worth it to do a pack. It's better when you have 2 or even 3 players. Really, that's the packs you want to do, when 3 players are interesting to you and are worth it. Here, van der Sar, I'm just going to wait until I have a pack with Edwin van der Sar along with another 2 players that I want. I would have been more interested if they had put Edwin van der Sar and Ronald Koeman in the same pack, and then perhaps I would have gone for the pack trying to build up my Netherlands squad. But here with Christian Panucci, Gareth Bale, I don't think it is really worth it. But, up to you guys, depending on what you need to build your squad. So what is also added here, it is this Tottenham club selection here, a Tottenham player pack. A few players here, I guess if you're a Tottenham fan, then you have a chance here to sign some players that you're probably not going to see. Here we see Paulinho, Christian Romero, Xavi Simons here signing for Tottenham this summer. And who else? Richarlison here. I don't know. I don't really think that's the most interesting pack, unless you're a Tottenham fan. If you're not, then these players, they're not really worth it. Better get some of the player of the week here. You have a bunch of them that are much, much better, and they're pretty much the same price here, just 100 coins each. So when it comes now to the pack, nothing has been added, no new managers here. And the only thing that we have now new in this game, the Milan AC tournament here, it has closed now. The results are in. Congratulations to those who qualified, of course, for the next round. And when it comes here to the new events, today we're starting the English club event here. As usual, first are nominating contract, a position token against the AI. If you do the PvP version here, you get the random skill tokens here and 50 eFootball coins, as it is always the case. And now we're going to look at next Wednesday here. The next update is going to be one where we're going to have a reset in the game. It's going to be perhaps the start of a new era of eFootball this month of November. We know now they're going to be added these new legends. We've had 12 or 13 new legends that have been added so far this season, and we're gonna have another 15, a total of 30 new legends for the 30 years of eFootball. And we're gonna have a lot of new legends coming out now next month. And I guess Wednesday is going to be the opening salvo, even if now Van der Sar is one of these, just getting into the month of November. But the big one is probably expected to be this Wednesday. We're going to see who comes next. So, if you're not sure about Van der Sar, then you might want to wait until Wednesday, because Van der Sar will still be in pack on Wednesday, but on Wednesday perhaps there's going to be someone much better than him that will be more interesting to you. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.
Hit me with that like, and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell. Click that bit, alright. The algo recommends, for she gon' like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like, and click the effing bell.